In this video, you will get to know how to create different shapes and run a command, select objects, save and open projects, and finally, work with layers. There are different ways to run commands. Left-clicking is one of them. For example, on the sidebar left-click on Polyline command. As you can see, the software on the command prompt asks us to define the start point of the polyline. On the top viewport, draw a polyline by left-clicking. If you look at the command prompt, Rhino asks us to press Enter when we want to finish the command. You can finish a command in 3 different ways: by pressing Enter from the keyboard, pressing spacebar, or by right-clicking on the mouse. Press Enter to finish the polyline command. This time, I want to draw a circle. On the left side of the program, click on the circle command. The software asks to define the center of the circle. I do that by clicking inside the top viewport. In the next step, I should define the radius. You can do this by typing a number and press Enter or left-click on the scene. I type 3 and then press Enter. In some cases, it's easier to finish a command by clicking. On the sidebar, choose Polygon command and click inside the top viewport to define the center of the shape. In the next step, you should pick the corner of the polygon. You can do it by typing the exact place of the corner in X, Y and Z direction, then press Enter. But I usually do this by clicking on the scene. When a command finishes, you can repeat it by pressing Enter, spacebar or by right-clicking. I draw a line. This time, instead of choosing the command from the sidebar, I press right-click of the mouse. As you can see, the last command runs again, and I can draw another line inside the scene. I want to select some of the objects inside the scene and delete them. But how can I do that? If I want to choose one object, I can left-click on it. You see that the selected object changes to a yellow color. Also, I can add other objects to my selection by holding the Shift key when I am clicking on them. If I want to select more than one object at the same time, I just draw a selection window around the objects. If you click on an empty area in the and drag it from right to left, you make a cross selection. It means that all of the objects which whole part or some part of them are inside the window will select. If I click and drag from left to right, just objects which are completely inside the window will be select. Now, by pressing the Delete key on the keyboard, you can delete the selected objects. If you notice, any object that I have created has black color. On the right side of the program, click on the Layer tab to see the layer panel. When you open Rhino, as default there is just one layer with black color. If you click on the color square, you can change the layer's color, and objects which are in that layer. Also, by clicking on the name of the layer, you can rename it. In the layer panel, you can organize objects in different layers with different colors and names. If you click on the first button on the left side the layer panel, you can create a new layer. I type a new name for this layer. Then, I change the color. You can use color samples on the left side of the pop-up menu. On the right side of the first layer, you see a black check mark. This check mark tells us which layer is the active layer. It means that if you create any new object, it goes to the active layer. To change the active layer, you just need to click in front of another layer on the same column. So, if I create a new object inside the scene, its color would be green. If you want to move objects from one layer to another one, you should select the objects and right-click on the destination layer, then select Change Object Layer from the list. By click on the Visible button, you can make layers visible or invisible. By using Lock button, you can make a layer lock or unlock. If you lock a layer, the layer is visible, but you cannot select and edit objects on this layer. Finally, how save a project. On the menu bar, click on the File menu, then select Save. I want to define a name and save it on the desktop. If I minimize the program, you will see the project on the desktop. If you want to open a project, go to File menu and select Open. Go the place you saved your project, select that and choose Open. See you in the next lesson.